Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We welcome you to the American Muslim Society, Masjid Dearborn.
Welcome to the American Muslim Society. Since opening over 85 years ago,
Alhamdulillah, this masjid or this organization was established in 1938.
it is the oldest masjid in the state of Michigan. But the question is it the oldest masjid in America? The oldest masjid in America is a disputed topic in American Muslim history. But historically speaking, the first ever masjid most likely to be built was in Sapelo Island in Georgia in the 1800s by Bilali Muhammad, an enslaved West African Muslim brought to the US by a plantation owner. But factually speaking, according to historical records, in 1915, Albanian Muslims established a masjid in the Pepperell Counting House factory where they used to work. They also established a Muslim cemetery where many Muslims are buried. The masjid has since been lost to time. The first masjid built as a building was in Highland Park in 1920.
Most of the immigrants used to live in Highland Park City, which is about like 15 minutes driving from here, where used to be the Ford Motor Company manufacturer. Most of the immigrants were from Syria, Lebanon.
But it lasted only for a few years. As Ford shifted to Dearborn, so did the Muslims, and the masjid was left alone and does not exist anymore. Then, the first incorporated Muslim society was the Syrian Shia community in Michigan City, Indiana in 1924, but they didn't have a masjid building until 1936. In 1929, a house was turned into a masjid in Ross, North Dakota. But soon, the Muslims slowly left the town. The building collapsed in 1979 and it was rebuilt in 2005. Today, it stands as a memorial masjid, no daily prayers or imam. While the first purpose-built masjid from the ground up that is still present today is the Mother Mosque of America in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which was built in 1934. But it is not open for 5 daily prayers. And while the American Muslim Society in Dearborn was built in 1938, making it the oldest masjid in Michigan, it is open for 5 daily prayers, making it the oldest functioning masjid in America.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
This masjid is the first masjid in the United States to make the call to prayer, the adhan, publicly outside. We went to the court against the city of Dearborn in 1981 and we won the case. In the basement they used to dance, they used to do like a social club. Some of the Musallin, they started questioning, is this a masjid or this is a club? Most of the women right here, you could see most of them are not even scarfy. They were not that knowledgeable about Islam. Its purpose was to try to convert Muslims from Islam to Christianity. That masjid bought the church itself. Is the only one in the United States where you bring the deceased to the masjid, then you carry it on the shoulder, like what we used, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam,
Subhanallah.
walking from the masjid to the cemetery. So that's
Like Sunnah.
the Sunnah. My name is Yahya Al-Faqih. I'm the president of the American Muslim Society. We celebrated the 80th anniversary. Right now, inshallah, in the near future, we're going to do the 90th anniversary. This masjid is the oldest masjid in Michigan. And so after they moved from Highland Park, that masjid later on got demolished. It doesn't exist anymore. When they moved to here, they started thinking of building a new center for the Muslim. They want to pray, they want to get together. So in 1938, they established this masjid. And if you could see right here, I'm going to give you just a picture right here. This masjid right here, this is the oldest masjid right here. These are picture, yeah. And they used to call them Al-Markaz Al-Islami, like in 1938. In 1952, what they did the first expansion. And
That's the original building.
Yes, and it used to be a basement, and a second floor used to be for prayer. And by the way, in the basement, they used to dance, they used to do like a social club.
Oh, really?
And then when it's time to pray, they will come and pray on the second floor. And you could see right here in this picture right here, this is the grand opening, or when they did like the dinner, when they opened the 1950 expansion. This is the mayor of Dearborn. Then in 1986, what happened? They did the next expansion. So this is like the second expansion in 1986. And in 2000, they did the current building. The basement used to be like a social club for their gathering, wedding parties, all kind of parties. They used it for that purpose. Some of the musallin, they started saying, questioning, is this is a masjid or this is a club?
Right.
Then they started back and forth, and they said, you guys, you gotta do either a masjid, or then after that they said, we gotta do a masjid only. No more dancing. And you could see here in the picture, subhanallah, most of the women right here, you could see most of them are not even scarfing. They were not that knowledgeable about Islam. So even back then, what they used to do, when it's time, if it's a holiday like Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha will be like on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, they will not celebrate it that day. They will delay it till Sunday when they are off, when they are not working, so they do the celebration. And this is what happened after that. Later on, it happened between two group of people. It was holiday in the weekdays, and they came to pray, and they told them, no, we are not going to the masjid right now because we're going to celebrate Sunday. They said, it's a holiday, it's today. Either celebrate, it doesn't work like this. We are not going to push it to Sunday. So they get into fight, big fight, it happened, an argument, even they went to the court. But the people who wanted exclusively like Muslim and follow Islam the right way, they won the case and they controlled the masjid since then. In 1981, this masjid is the first masjid in the United States to make the call to prayer, the adhan, publicly outside, is the first masjid. And this is we went to the court against the city of Dearborn in 1981, and we won the case, and alhamdulillah, right now a lot of masajids, especially here in Michigan, they benefited from this judgment that time, alhamdulillah. Now we do it 5 times a day through the microphone, through the speaker, the loudspeaker.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
It's not known. People don't know about that. I mean,
Yeah,
we know that Minneapolis passed the bill, the city of Minneapolis, for the
recently, and they said but we've been doing it since 1981.
So they gave permission to only this masjid or all the masajid in
So
Dearborn?
at that time they took the initiative to take it to the court. So what happened? They used to do it publicly. One neighbor here in the area, they went to the city and they filed some lawsuit against the masjid. Then the city of Dearborn, they came and they gave him like a ticket, an ordinance, to tell them not to do it to the outside, just inside. And they said no. If the churches are doing it, like the bell every Sunday publicly, we should do it too. So the city insisted, no, you cannot do it 5 times a day. You got neighbors. Then they took it to the Wayne County court, and alhamdulillah, we won the case at that time in 1981.
So the masajid here in
Yes,
Dearborn,
they could do it. And alhamdulillah, right now you could see the masjid is getting bigger and bigger. Alhamdulillah, we have like 2 schools. One for Quran school called Abdullah bin Abbas Quran School, and we have more than like 400 students, and also we have waiting list. We have another school, the weekend school, just Saturday and Sunday. That's only to teach Arabic and Quran, and that has more than 400 students. Lectures every day here in the masjid. Same time, we're doing right now some renovation in the masjid. We did phase 1, phase 2. Now we are in phase 3. Complete renovation. If you check the picture before and after, you will see it's amazing, mashallah, beautiful right now, and we are not done yet. We started in December 21st, 2020. It's hard to close the whole masjid to do that renovation, so we divided into phases 1, phase 2, phase 3, then we get phase 4 for the sister musalla, inshallah. The masjid, alhamdulillah, also owns a cemetery right here across from the masjid. When we bury our loved ones, we carry them on our shoulders, walk in, pray here, and we take him to the cemetery on our shoulder and bury him over there. And alhamdulillah, recently we just purchased a church, and a church was across across from the masjid. Its purpose was to try to convert Muslims from Islam to Christianity, to change their religion.
Really?
And even they draw the masjid, our masjid, inside their prayer room, and that's was their purpose. But alhamdulillah, whatever they draw on the wall, our masjid, that masjid bought the church itself. And alhamdulillah, we bought it for 1,250,000. If anyone wants to donate to the masjid as a sadaqah jariyah, they are more than welcome to do so.
The fact that it's such a historical masjid serving the community for 80 years plus, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, yeah, alhamdulillah. And it's right now they are praying the Isha. Inshallah, we're going to pray the Isha right now.
يوم يرون الملائكة لا بشرى يومئذ للمجرمين ويقولون حجرا محجورا.
This is the old Imam. This is an Albanian. This is like, then here's some history about the old Muslims in Detroit. And this is like, an article, I think the Detroit Free Press, it's like 1975. This hall, what happened when they moved from Highland Park before they purchased this Musallid Masjid, they used this, it used to be called the Hashimi Hall. This one right here. But after that, they purchased this masjid. And you could see this is 1979, but this was established in the expansion in 1952.
MashaAllah.
This is an old picture while they were praying. That's in the old musalla at the back, the original one.
Renovating that part.
Yeah. And this is the, one of the Eid, I don't know what year, but they prayed.
MashaAllah. Tell me about the cemetery, the Muslim cemetery, which is huge.
It's a huge,
MashaAllah.
We have what we call a three section. We have what is called AMS, American Moslem Society, abbreviation AMS. So AMS 1, and we have AMS 2, and right now we are using AMS 3. So AMS 1, we buried a lot. Then after we finished, we bought another 1,500 lots. And then we finished all of them. Then we started using AMS 3 in Corona time.
When the COVID pandemic started.
So the masjid owns two cemeteries. They have one here, what is it called, in Woodmere Cemetery. Then we have another one in Plymouth City. It's about like 30 minutes driving from here. Before we purchased the Woodmere Cemetery, we used the Plymouth Cemetery, and we have some Muslims there. And we know a lot of people, they get buried over there. But this one, I think they started burying people here at the beginning of the 90s, around that time. So that's when they started using the first one. Then alhamdulillah, right now we just purchased 1,000 AMS 3.
Right.
And we are planning to buy more, but the cemetery owner, he's asking for a lot of
money.
We are looking for another option. If he's not gonna give us a good
deal,
then we have to move somewhere else, to buy another thing. The unique thing about the cemetery right here, I think up to my knowledge, is the only one in the United States where you bring the deceased to the masjid, you pray on her or him, then you carry it on the shoulder, like what we used, Nabi Sallallahu and used to do on the shoulder, walking from the masjid to the cemetery. So that's
like sunnah.
The sunnah, we carry on the shoulder, and we go to the cemetery. And you see people, back then was the only cemetery. Now, in the last 3 years, there are other cemeteries just for the Muslims, especially in Hamtramck and in Westland City. Alhamdulillah, it alleviates some of the
pressure.
Pressure on us. Alhamdulillah. To be honest with you, I went to California. I buried my uncle over there. We drove almost an hour and 45 minutes in the highway from the masjid where we prayed on him till the cemetery where we buried him. So, but alhamdulillah, here just walking.
MashaAllah.
We do have a full-time school. We collaborate with another masjid here in the area. So we together, established that, madrasa, full-time Islamic school. And also we have two branches. One branch, it's in Coldwater, Michigan. It's about like I think 2.5 hours from here. They started like just a small house. We bought it for them, small house. Then there was, they got more space. They bought a church next to them. Now they need a bigger space. Now they are building a huge Islamic center, including gym, school, and everything. That's in Coldwater, Michigan. And another branch in Canterville, Indiana. We just bought it for them in 2000, to help them and, for people to pray and everything. And we still operate right now, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
So this masjid is helping the Islamic Center
Yes.
with...
And not only this, even in the 80s and the 70s, we used to own a masjid in Youngstown, Ohio. Yes.
So it's a foundation, mashallah.
Yeah, it's alhamdulillah. Then after that, it's right now, we want to visit it, but it was back then. And it's called, I think right now, it's Dar al-Salam or Masjid al-Salam.
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah, this masjid, barakah, from the beginning till now, alhamdulillah. And you could see a lot of khutbah in the masajid, a lot of khutbah and imam. They started, some of them, I know some of them, they are right now are imam in different masajid, at least 7 or 8 of them. They came out of this masjid.
MashaAllah. Amazing.